This is my intro music. Welcome to the video. I hope you like it lots, so don't forget to subscribe and click the thumbs up button. Now let's react.
Hey, hi, hello there, and welcome to another episode of An Anthropologist Watches. Actually, kind of good, kind of Beck, but we're doing this for a reason. We're actually watching Amber Lynn Reed's apology to Beck, which is, ooh, that was a thing. Was that a thing? I just got out of the shower. I don't have heat in my apartment. So yes, I'm sitting here with wet hair, waiting for my power to blow, because every time I plug in one of my space heaters, it blows my power. So let's have a good time with this. I'm already in a good mood. Anyway, I got coffee, I got water. We got kind of good, kind of Beck. I've not seen this. This is 18 minutes long. I don't remember exactly how long Amber's actual apology was. I'm just going to go over what Beck goes over, mostly because I'm interested in Beck's response to Amber, because Amber's apology served two purposes. One of which was to gaslight the hell out of Beck, and the other one was to try to gaslight the hell out of the audience. And part of me thinks that, well, part of me knows that Amber doesn't believe that she's actually the bad guy, because I don't think Amber, I know Amber doesn't believe she's the bad guy. Amber doesn't believe that the things that she does are necessarily bad, because I don't think Amber can live in a world where she knows that she's the bad guy. Even though I think there is a little bit part of her that knows she's doing the wrong thing. And the reason I say that is because Amber has shown that she can be taught and that she can learn, and she does occasionally course correct. I think the best example of this recently has been her deleting all of the videos with Libby in them. And I know a lot of people are freaking out about that because they think that that's like proof of PDFism. But I think honestly, I honestly think it's just Amber's finally learning. I think she effed up royally with that weird accidental follow thing on that one account, which is just, I still don't know exactly what was going on there. And I'm not going to speculate, because throwing around accusations of PDFism is really, really very serious, and I don't like playing around with that kind of shit. But I think because of the backlash from this accidental follow, I still don't understand that one. I think I think it finally clicked with her with the whole Libby thing. Now, does Amber believe that she was in the wrong? I don't think so. I think Amber can learn that certain behaviors are perceived by the audience as being wrong, and those are the ones that she course corrects for. I don't believe that she thinks she's wrong. I think she's just trying to remove things that she knows she's getting criticism for off the internet. And that's what this apology is. This apology is not Amber believing that she really perceived the relationship as being different, or that she thought that they were doing something in the relationship that wasn't actually happening, or that, you know, any of the other bullshit that, hello? Yeah, I got interrupted. I don't know where I was. Anyway, good news. I found my red card. Anyway, so I don't actually believe that Amber believes any of the things that she said. I think, and that's why I think the apology comes off so bad, is because there's no sincerity behind it, because Amber doesn't actually believe she did anything wrong. She's just trying to say and do the things that she thinks are what are necessary to get the audience off her back. And she's trying to apologize to Beck because she thinks that's what the audience wants. I don't think she actually has any interest in apologizing to Beck whatsoever. And I think that's abundantly clear in the fact that A, she hasn't done it before, or she did give it a shot before and it was terrible then. And she hasn't given it a shot since. And then this apology being the way it was after being like, oh, I'll apologize in private, and then getting lambasted for that. And now she's doing this, and she's like, but this is the last time I'm ever going to talk about this. Isn't that what you said last time too? But anyway. All right, look, it's cold in my house. My hair is wet. Why don't I go blow dry my hair? Because I don't like how frizzy it makes my hair. So this is what we're doing. We're doing the Unabomber version. I'm mad, okay? Leave me alone. So anyway. This is an 18-minute long video. It's got 7.4K views. It's 2 hours old as of right now, which is February the 20th. Happy birthday, Mom. I'm not going to speed it up just yet. I might end up speeding. You know what? I lie. I'm going to speed it up. I'm going to speed it up to time and a quarter. Honk. If I need to slow it down, I will. I don't think I will. Beck talks kind of slow, which is fine. I don't mind it if I'm just watching it on my own. I do know that Beck put out a video about ghost stories. I need to get that watched because that's the content I'm here for. So anyway, all right. I look like a sperm. Anyway, do this. Thank you to everybody who's been supporting this channel. Thank you to my subscribers. Thank you to my members. You guys rock. I promise I will get caught up with the rest of the Amberlynn drama as we go, because I know she's put out a couple more videos that are... Does Amber believe in the wind? I don't know. I guess we'll find out. But anyway, here we are. So yeah, what else do I need to say before we get into this too far? I will be trying to refer to certain laws here and there, but for the most part, I think I've already beaten that crap into the ground with Amber. So I'll probably just be like reiterating things that I've gone over in past videos. So if you have questions about things, by all means, please ask me down in the comment section down below. But let's get into this.
Hey guys, today I'm going to be responding to Amber's My Last Response to Beck video. This will be the first time that I will be reacting.
I like Beck's little animations here. I think they're cute. And I like the hairstyle that she put on the little thingy dude. If that's Beck's actual hairstyle, I think it's adorable. I haven't seen an actual picture of Beck in a really long time. Mainly because I don't actually watch Beck's channel, so. The coffee is the only warm thing in my house.
To one of her videos instead of a reaction channels as a buffer. The reason for that is because this video seems to be directly aimed at me. So I wanted you guys to get a raw response without any other input on this.
Ooh, I don't know if I'd have done this raw. Ooh. I think I would have watched this first and then reacted if it was aimed at me. It was not.
I'm going to try to go into this with an open mind, but I'm not expecting much, as we all know. I hope you guys enjoy it. Let's get into it.
Hello?
Beck just has a disclaimer up here. The copyright disclaimer under section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976 allows for allowance is made for the fair use of purpose such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, education, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright status that might otherwise be infringing. All right. Before we get too far into Beck's thing, I would just like to point out to Amber, because apparently she's thinks she's above the copyright. The Copyright Act of 1976, Section 107 of the Copyright Act, actually protects people if they wanted to react to full-on clips of your live videos, your members' lives. I know you think that that somehow makes them super duper ooper special, but as long as they're being used for the purposes of criticism, commenting, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, education, and or research, which I could easily fall under 3 if not 4 of those categories, it falls under fair use. You can take it to court and it can go to court and it might be an interesting little court battle, but in the end you will lose, because YouTube's not going to come to your aid on this one, because we are not violating copyright if we choose to react in this way. Now, if I were to sit here and just straight dead watch your members live without any kind of transformative and nothing, and no even interaction with it, and we just watch it straight on my channel, yes, that is an infringement of the copyright. Me using clips from it, not so much. Me reading the transcript, you asked us to do that. You said it with your own ass mouth. But anyway, I just wanted to say that before we got into this because I'm getting tired of Amber sitting here being like, ugh. So anyway, let's go.
Oh, hello. So welcome to
Did
a
I
new
mention
video.
I'm
It's actually
angry?
February 7th at 3 a.m. in the morning. I could have totally slept and waited till tomorrow to film this, but I think it's just so heavy that
We don't even know if it's actually 3 a.m. in the morning. I just want to put that out. Like, Amber, it could be like 12 in the afternoon for all we know.
like I have to do it now so I can just be completely done with it.
This was so urgent that it took you 10 days to release this video. I want to thank you for adding me so swiftly to the queue of your videos. I really enjoy my iced tea.
I need this video. It's cold in my apartment. It's been cold in my apartment for the last like 2 days. The heat went out during the coldest fucking week in Pennsylvania with no fucking explanation. And my apartment's like, yeah, we'll get it fixed sometime in the future. You're not freezing, are you? Anyway.
I watched Beck's new video that they posted tonight or today or whatever, but it was a new one. So that video genuinely shocked
Wait,
me.
which one?
My iced tea.
I watched Beck's new video
Sorry.
that they posted.
He's talking about this video, by the way. Amberlyn Reed being rude to Becky for 10 minutes straight. I don't know if I watched that one. Did I? Now my nose itches. Deal with it.
Tonight or today or whatever, but it was a new one. So that video genuinely shocked me and it made me feel stupid and dumb. And it
The video made you feel stupid and dumb? Is that what it takes?
made me realize that like the way that I viewed our relationship was completely wrong.
No. When did I react to this originally? I did this on a live. No.
And I was oblivious to a lot of things.
Huh. Willfully? Or like actually? Because I feel like a lot of it was just willful. Because I don't really feel like you were that oblivious. I just think you were choosing to ignore everything. And later on you say some shit that actually kind of reinforces that belief in me. But let's hear what Beck has to say.
Even to the extent of the way that I treated them. So I want to be accountable in that.
People have been pointing out to you for years that you weren't treating me well. It's not that you weren't aware or that people weren't telling you. It's just that you didn't care. I hope that she says more than just I take accountability, because saying I take accountability isn't actually taking accountability.
Get her, Beck. Get her. I do want to say right up front, though, I may or may not misgender Beck at some point because I am notorious for that. And I do apologize ahead of time if it does happen, but I know that Beck's preferred pronouns are they, them, and I will try to stick to that as much as humanly possible. But if it slips, I apologize ahead of time. That being said, I would like to point out that when Amber doesn't slip up in this video, so I will give her a gold star for that, but or maybe a bronze star. Either way, when she does use Beck's proper pronouns, she overemphasizes them, I've noticed, like every single time she's them, they, and it's just like, maybe it's just me hearing the emphasis, but it feels like every time Amber uses Beck's pronouns, she's like way overemphasizing them. And I'm not entirely sure if that was intentional or if it was just kind of like I don't know, maybe that's just the way Amber talks, because it's very new for her. I don't know.
But this is just the example that I saw in their newest video where it made me look back and be like, yeah, like we both actually viewed this relationship completely different.
Yeah.
No.
We did view this relationship differently. I was your caretaker and you were enjoying being taken care of without any appreciation for the things that I did. You made me feel like I owed it to you. Everything that I could possibly give and more. I always owed you more.
So in their new video, they were reacting to a compilation video of me being rude to them.
Check it out if you haven't watched it yet. Did she link it? See, I knew I was going to do that. Did Beck link it? All right, Beck says in the description, well, this was a weird one. Pretty much what I expected, maybe a little less. Anyway, back to our regularly scheduled program after this. As always, thanks for watching. I'll catch you on the next one. If you want to send fan art or inquiries, they put their email up. Avatar art by my friend TK. She prefers not to have her socials public. I think she's talking about the cool little doodad here, because we watched Beck draw this one during the Q&A with Mr. Snowflake, so I know Beck did that one. I'm not gonna lie, I have a love-hate relationship with the background of this video. Like, I like the retro 80s like street art feel of it. I do, but it's really busy and it kind of clashes, which again I kind of like, but it's busy, so I don't know. Take that how you want. If Beck likes it, rock it out, but I don't know, at some points it's a little much.
For 10
As Beck should give two literal shits what I think. So there you have that.
minutes straight. And in the reaction, Beck stated multiple times
That's a great face,
that
by the way.
it's obvious that they didn't want to be on camera. And they said, oh, look at me zoning out while she's talking. And it's like both of those things like genuinely hurt. And it made me realize like I didn't even notice these things. Just like
I think you did, though.
how when I was in a relationship with them, I didn't notice how mean or rude I could come off.
I didn't notice how mean or rude I could come off. Not how mean or rude I was being. How mean or rude I came off. That is not an ownership of behavior. That is a, I'm sorry, you're mad, right? I wasn't being mean and rude. You just perceived me that way. That's what that was, by the way.
Until looking back, and I just feel super remorseful. I viewed our whole relationship a certain way that it wasn't. I genuinely thought that they wanted to be on camera and that they were okay with being on camera. And I was so...
Appearance 122, uploaded 20th March 2018. It looks like they're falling asleep. Not gonna lie, Beck has... Okay, I know this is... Look, I'm cranky, alright? Beck has really nice features. I know that's a weird thing to say. I think Amber has nice features too. But... kind of looks like Beck's wearing a beret in this one too, and I'm okay with it. Kind of like the beret look. Cleaning my glasses in case anybody's wondering. I mentioned that I'm cranky. Go, let's do this.
Accustomed to them zoning out or seeming like they didn't want to be on camera, that like that was normal for me. But I did...
That was very much an I don't want to be here face. I was very much accustomed to Beck zoning out or acting like they don't want to be there. It was very normal to me. So you did notice that they didn't want to be there, and you did notice that they were zoning out. You just didn't care because it didn't fit with whatever you were trying to do that day.
Didn't know that the zoning out and the look on their face, etc., was like an indication that they weren't listening to me or that they didn't want to be on camera. Like that is like...
What do you think people zoning out and not listening to you, what do you think those are indications of? That they're rapidly enamored with every fucking word you're saying? Because typically when someone's zoning out while you're talking, that's normally most people pick up on that as being not an indicator that people are listening to you, right? So you were noticing the behavior, you were just ignoring it. That's what I'm hearing here. Which goes back to, you did notice, you just didn't care. And so your perception of shit really wasn't you missing things. You noticed it, but it didn't fit in with whatever narrative you had that day or whatever activities you wanted, or you needed to be at Walmart at 4 a.m. and you didn't care. That's what that kind of came out to. And that goes back to the whole, I perceived our relationship as being something that it wasn't. Yeah, you did, actually.
News to me.
It was not news to you, and it's weird for you to say that it was normal for me to be zoning out and disassociating. You knew why I felt that way, but if you didn't, why wouldn't you ask me what was going on, or why was I acting that way? Why would you just continue filming and let it become the normal? The truth is that you did know, because I had told you many times that I did not want to be on camera. And your response was that I owed you and that it was my job to be in the vlogs and to be on camera. So me acting this way was the result of you not caring, and you knew the entire time.
So knowing that, like, I viewed our relationship
Amber, we call that tea.
one way and it wasn't, like, I genuinely look stupid, but I guess, like, maybe I low-key deserve it.
Maybe it's not so low-key, Amber.
Realizing that we both viewed this relationship so differently actually makes it easier for me to be accountable and to apologize.
Baby, where are you being accountable? I have yet to see this.
Because if that's the way that they truly viewed it, like, I deeply apologize for that.
Again, that's the way they viewed it. That's the way they saw it. Not that's the way it was. No, it's I think that they're wrong, or I'm letting them see it the way that they want to see it, but that's not how it really was. They're just perceiving it that way. It's like the last time she sort of kind of apologized to Beck, and she was like, they have a right to tell their story, or they have a right to their truth, or something like that. And it was like, thanks for the permission.
Saying I apologize for if you viewed it that way is not an apology. It's not
No.
just the way I viewed it. It's what I experienced and what happened to me and what I felt.
And there's nothing I can do to change their opinions and their thoughts and their experience, because that's what they lived.
Right, you're not going to change my opinion on what happened because that's what happened.
I wasn't the greatest girlfriend. I wasn't the most perfect girlfriend, but I will say I'm not all good. I'm not all bad.
Don't take Beck's channel's name. Bad. I need a squirt gun. Somebody mentioned that. I think I did react to this live because somebody mentioned I needed a squirt gun.
And I wasn't that way then either. Like, our relationship was definitely complex. And even though it might not be visible to the public or even to Beck in this moment, I have taken accountability for the things that I've done.
How? Before Beck even says this. How? How have you done this?
No, you haven't. And saying I take accountability is not taking accountability. I've never seen you take accountability, and I'm still waiting for it in this video.
And in the video, they even stated, like, I don't want you to reach out to me. And that's very much why I haven't, because I wanted to respect those boundaries. But they said, I don't want an apology from you. I genuinely feel like Beck deserves an apology for the wrongdoings that I did do. But if
Here's another interesting thing. I don't know if Beck said, don't reach out to me, don't talk. I know Beck has said, like, I would prefer not to be mentioned any further, but it's unfortunately not going to happen. But even if Beck did say, I don't want an apology, don't apologize to me. Here we have Amber going, oh, you set a boundary? Well, F your boundary. I'm going to go do that thing that you told me not to do anyway, because I think it's something that should be done. I feel like it should be done. It's closure for me. Amber, nobody cares about you. This isn't about you. I mean, it is now because you've made it about you, but it's not about you, really.
they don't want to accept it or hear it, then I have to be okay with that. I'm not going to apologize to the internet. The apology was
However, I'm going to spend the next 19-ish or 9 minutes or so apologizing, 7-ish minutes or so apologizing to the internet.
wasn't for you guys. It was for them.
What apology? I didn't get an apology.
I feel like in this situation, like, this type of accountability should be handled in private, just like the apology should have, and the sort of discussion that is, like, happening between back and forth with us. Like, these things should be happening in private.
No, they should not be happening in private. And the reason why they should not be happening in private is because you want them to happen in private because you want to be able to control it. And that's what people were calling you out on last time during your live. I believe it was your members live where you said, no, this should be handled in private because you want Beck to reach out to you so that you can be in control of the conversation, because it gives you the power if Beck comes crawling to you for an apology and then you're just graciously granting an apology to Beck because you're magnanimous And then you can go out like you try to do with your members' lives and claim that you said X, Y, and Z, but for whatever reason, you think your member lives are like behind a fucking ironclad wall, but so that's what you want with this private apology. You want it behind an ironclad wall so you can claim that you said, did, or do anything, and no one can prove you otherwise. That's what you want. And no, it shouldn't be private because you lie. You lie and you manipulate and you use privacy as a way to lie and manipulate and control the narrative.
Those videos where you mistreated me were not private, and neither was all that stuff that you said about me for years.
And it's like when personal matters like this are brought onto like a public platform, I feel like backed up in a corner, like I have to defend myself, or I
do though. You do need to defend yourself because your behavior has been indefensible.
have to say something. But it's like, I'm not going to sit here and go through every single thing that they said, like every single claim, every single this or that.
I mean, there's no real benefit to Amber sitting down and going through the laundry list of what she says are the claims and the lies and the this and the that. There's no real benefit for it. I want her to do it because I want to hear the mental gymnastics that Amber will go through in order to make herself not the perpetrator. I want to watch Amber mentally go through the denial and the repositioning of blame and the just like the victimization of herself and the blaming of the mentals and the you can't hold me accountable because I was a different person. I want to see all of the excuses she's going to come up with as to why she isn't actually responsible for the things that Beck points out over the years that happened during their relationship. Again, it won't benefit her in any way, shape, or form, and it probably wouldn't benefit Beck in any way, shape, or form. I'm just very curious to hear her thought process to wash away all guilt and responsibility from herself. That's all I want out of it, which is why I want to see it. But again, as far as like the narrative and benefit for either party, there really isn't any. It's just I am curious as a curious person to see how she's going to make herself the innocent person and the victim in this situation.
Because that is just going to fuel negativity. I truly don't feel like the back and forth is productive for either of us. But if they truly and go through every single thing that they said, like every single claim, every single this or that, because that is just going to fuel negativity. I truly don't feel like the back and forth is productive for either of us. But if they truly feel like sharing their story is what is going to help them in the long run, then go for it. But I have to genuinely.
Again, it's another one of those times where Amber is giving Beck permission to speak out on their own. If them telling their side, what they think is their side of the story, helps them do whatever, then they can go for it. Well, thanks again for the permission to be a whole person.
Step away. Like I said, I wasn't going to speak about them, and that was standing.
You said you weren't going to speak on me, but then you continued to speak on me, and that's why this entire thing started.
Can we stop with the speak on me shit? Talk about. You said you wouldn't talk about. Don't fall for this, Beck. You're smarter than this. You have better grammar than her.
And thanks for giving me your permission, but I didn't need your permission to tell my story to begin with. If you're embarrassed to just say any of it out loud, why don't you just say that you did all of it? You didn't have to go through everything I said individually. You could have just took accountability for all of it at once if that's what you felt you wanted to do.
But like hearing all of these things being said, it's been hard for me because it's like I'm
so sorry that it's been difficult for you, Amber. That's so bad. So bad for you that you've had such a hard time going through all of this. I'm sorry, weren't you supposed to be apologizing for something?
shown growth in my personal life, and it's hard to like show growth publicly when these are things that like was happening behind the scenes. So publicly, I might look the same to you guys. but I have changed a lot.
Where? How? When?
We're only halfway through this video, and all I've seen so far is that you have not grown at all. I don't think that you should be the judge of if you have grown or gotten better. And yeah, some of the worst of it happened behind the scenes, but some of it happened publicly.
And I
don't think you can't be a judge of if you've improved or not. In Amber's case, she's trying to claim that she's done like this fucking 180, and I think if you're claiming you've changed that much, it should be noticeable by the outside public, and it's not. So there's a difference between me being like, oh, I feel like I handled that situation a whole lot better than I normally handle a situation, and me being like, I am a completely different person than I was 5 years ago. Don't you think so, everyone? That's what Amber's doing. There's a difference between that and the other thing, right? I don't think you cannot. I think you can say, I as an individual feel like I have improved. That's fine. And that's not what Amber's doing. Amber's trying to claim she's a whole ass different person and that we should all be giving her praise and acknowledgement for being a whole ass different person when she is in no way demonstrated that she's changed in any way, shape, or form. If anything, she's demonstrating that the behaviors that her past girlfriends have accused her of are repeating patterns that she carries forward into every relationship she has. And she admits it.
just want to say that anytime that I had Beck on my channel, it was never out of malice.
There was at least one occasion that I can think of where the only reason you had Beck on a live was to sit there and just be an absolute bitch to Beck for over an hour because Beck broke up with you. And we could all see why. Because we'd all been hoping for a very long time that Beck would break up with your ass.
Never meant to disrespect them. And I really, 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 really did love them. This might be a little tea because
This is not tea.
no one knows. But when Beck and I were just friends while I was with Feline, and Feline did know this, don't worry. One night I got really, really drunk and I told Beck, like, I really was in love with you and I still love you. Like, you're a great person. And I hyped them up because genuinely,
Oh my god, it is so nice of you as an abuser to call the person that you abused for 5 years and hype them up while you're drunk. That is such an amazing thing for you to do. What an incredible person you are, Amber. You deserve the keys to the world for doing that. It was in no way, shape, or form a abuse of boundaries to call someone, to drunk dial someone and do the whole, I love you, man. You're like the greatest person I've ever known. I love you. You're beautiful. That in no way, shape, or form was weird. Can you imagine?
I owe so much to them. And
Yes, you do.
I have so much gratitude to
No, you don't.
them. They were there for me during some of the hardest moments of my life,
Yes, they were.
i.e. when I was diagnosed with cancer.
Didn't you try to blame Beck for the cancer? Like, didn't you literally try to blame Beck for not having you go to the doctor sooner to get diagnosed with your cancer sooner? Like, didn't you literally try to make that Beck's fault? That Beck didn't insist that you go to the doctor sooner to get diagnosed? I distinctly remember that happening. I'm pretty sure a lot of us distinctly remember that happening.
But I have never tried to show them in a certain way.
Do you think we're stupid? I feel like you think we're stupid.
Nothing was ever out of malice from the bottom of my heart, and I just really needed to make that clear.
Yeah, we were friendly for like a year until you wouldn't stop talking about me. And I was only really friendly with you because we both still talked to Eric and Ricky and we had to be around each other. So I just wanted to keep things cordial. But I didn't really consider us friends because of the way you treated me throughout the relationship and the way you acted toward the end. And as for the private apology you gave me while drunk, I don't recall that ever happening at all. I know that you didn't say that you loved me or that you still loved me, and I know that you also wouldn't have hyped me up. I also know that I didn't drink with you after the breakup, and I don't recall you ever being drunk around me after the breakup either. The only thing that I can think of maybe she could be thinking about is maybe it was in a phone call or a text message, but I honestly really don't think that it happened at all.
Honestly,
Sorry.
all I can really do is just continue working on myself. My focus moving forward is to just ignore it.
No one cares what your focus is. This is not an apology. Apologies do not include, well, my future focus on myself includes. What does that have to do with you apologizing?
At all. Like, I wanted to take what Beck is doing and put it in like a positive way and put a positive spin to it and like be like, yeah, I am accountable. But
What is Beck doing? What is Beck doing exactly? What is Beck doing? Beck's building a channel. Good for Beck. Beck's trying to get their bag. Good for Beck. So what is Beck doing that you're not doing? Are you just feeling threatened? Is that what this is? You're feeling threatened because Beck's encroaching on your little corner of girl world? Is that the problem?
at the same time, obviously, like, I do find frustrations in the ways that I feel like they are exaggerating or they have lied.
You feel frustrated over the ways that you feel they have exaggerated or lied. Why is it impossible for you to put a proper sentence together? There are people on YouTube where English is their fourth fucking language and they have better grammar than you. I don't understand.
You cannot take accountability and tell me that I am lying and exaggerating in the same video.
Thank you.
I do firmly believe that two things can happen at once. I can be accountable, but I can also be frustrated. But
You can be accountable and frustrated. Frustration is a feeling. Accountability is an action.
I'm not accountable and frustrated about the same things. Like everyone likes to say, there are three sides to every story.
Mm-hmm.
Their side, my side, the truth.
Anthropologically, there are three sides to a story. There is the informant A's side, there is informant B's side, and then there is the truth. There is the truth as we will never know it because we are incapable of knowing the truth. The only way you can get to said truth is to analyze informant A and informant B's story and to put together through context the missing pieces. You're still never going to have the truth because on top of having two separate stories that you have to compile together, and it doesn't necessarily mean that informant A and informant B, that one of them is lying or that either of them are telling the truth. They could both be lying. They could both be telling the truth. Right? The problem is even if we were there and we behold it with our own eyes, we are bringing into this our own bias. We are bringing in the observer's bias. There is no way to know the truth. So this is a bullshit cop-out. Just putting it out there. Anybody who actually understands the concept of the truth, my story, your story, and the truth, my side, your side, and the truth is impossible to know. That's the point. That's the point of that saying. You cannot know the truth. That's the point. And another person kind of pointed out, I think in the comments, who was watching? I was watching someone else's live, and someone in the comments of that one pointed out that basically by saying this, she kind of admits that she's lying. Yes and no, but it is kind of funny to kind of put it that way.
I just got so disgusted by that. I just don't know what to even say.
And like a really good example of like people viewing things differently, like kind of what's going on with like Blake and Justin. Blake,
I think she means Blake Lively. I don't know who Justin is. I'm sorry. I live under a rock. I apologize.
feels like one thing happened. Well, Justin's like, no, that's not what happened.
First of all, Amber, you are not Blake Lively. Secondly, it is very common for these types of relationships for the victim and perpetrator to have two very different sounding stories. It's not because the victim is lying, but because the perpetrator is unlikely to be willing to admit to certain things they did.
So you know what? I can't even sit here and firmly be like,
someone has actually been going to therapy. I wonder
which one out of the two it is.
Like, okay, Beck is lying, because if they viewed it that way, then I have to accept that for what it is, because what's true to someone and the way that they view something might not be true to everyone else in the room.
And someone else has been watching TikTok. I wonder which one of the two of them it is.
Want to play devil's advocate here for a second. If I'm remembering something wrong that Beck genuinely remembers as like a full truth, then that's fair as well, because I have really bad memory problems.
No, you don't.
Due to moments of high stress, trauma, BPD.
No, you don't. No, you don't. This is an insult to everyone who does. Fuck off. Own up. This is a cop-out excuse. You know it is. Fuck you.
When I have anxiety, sometimes I'll literally like black out because I'm so anxious.
No, you don't.
That's a lot of things to blame instead of yourself. I do believe that she thinks that I'm exaggerating because in her mind, everything she did was not a big deal. But I don't think that she forgot about anything that she did. And it seems pretty obvious that she is aware that everything I've been saying is the truth.
And I just want to say, whether my apology was behind a paywall, whether it was in a Snapchat, whether it's in a YouTube video, or whether I say it to Beck directly, it is 100% sincere.
No, it's not. Snapchat vanishes after 24 hours behind a paywall unless Beck pays to see it. There's no way back for Beck to see it. I forget what the third one was, but I'm sure it was equally inaccessible. So the only real way to make it a sincere apology is to say it directly to Beck's face, which is another reason why this apology video is not an apology. It's not direct. I mean, it's directed towards Beck, but it's not to Beck. It's to the internet. This is performative. There's no apology here. So the only real apology you could actually make is an apology directly to Beck. And the only way we can know that you actually made an apology that was in any way satisfactory is if Beck then came on and was like, yeah, she apologized and I accept her apology. You know? But that's not going to happen.
Nothing she's said so far has seemed genuine at all. And it does matter that it was behind a paywall. What does she expect me to pay $10 to receive her apology? Which, by the way, was not an apology.
And I have apologized to them personally, but that was years ago after our breakup. Beck and I was friends for about a year after we broke up. And
at first I was like, okay, maybe it's the plural pronoun thing that's screwing her up here. No, even if it was she and I, you would still say she and I were friends. So this is just another moment where Grammar Lynn is screwing up. I don't understand. I don't understand why her grammar is so bad.
obviously that didn't work out, which I understand.
Do you understand, Amber? Do you understand why I stopped talking to you and didn't want to be friends?
But I did apologize to them.
Nope, never happened.
I don't think that I took as much accountability as I do take now.
That's crazy because you didn't take any today either.
Because like I said, every day I like to reflect and just grow into a better person. So
what is your definition of a better person? This is what I want to know. What is it that she thinks she is improving on? Like, what version of herself does she think that she has moved away from, right? Like, in her head, what image of past Amber does she think she has made strides away from? Because the Amber from the past that we have all seen, we, the internet, is not better or worse, honestly, than this version today, right? The only difference is this version is 33 going on 34 in December and has learned like very, very little from their life experiences and is still using the same manipulation tactics at 33 that they were using at 27. And they don't work anymore because you're not a cutesy little 27-year-old that's half the size you are right now, a helpless little cute 27-year-old that people actually want to take care of. You're a 33-year-old, 600-pound adult-ass woman who is infantilized yourself to the point where you can't even hang pictures on your own wall. Everybody's like, why doesn't she hang pictures on her wall? Because she can't. She can barely walk her own dog. There's nothing cute. There's nothing How there's nothing here that makes people want to go, "Oh, I want to take care of you." There's nothing cutesy here anymore. Now it's just sad and pathetic. Right? But she's still using the same manipulation tactics that she used when she was 18, that she was probably using in her early to late teens, that she was using in her 20s, where she was manipulating people to take pity on her, to want to take care of her. And it doesn't work anymore because she's not the same cutesy little person anymore, right? She's not a dainty girl. She still thinks she is, but she's not.
I'm not going to sit here and list off every single claim that they said and write down like, okay, guys, these are the things that are true and these are the things that
I really wish you would, because I really want to see how you negotiate your way out of it.
aren't. These are the things that I'm accountable for. Like, there's no productivity in that, because whether the internet knows what I'm accountable for versus what I'm not accountable for, that doesn't bother me. The only person that I'm worried about and them actually hearing me is Beck.
I heard you.
So I made this ass-long video of me telling you how it's not my fault and how I'm not going to actually be accountable for any of this, and how if Beck's upset, that's Beck's problem, not mine. That's why I made this video.
And I still have no idea what you're taking accountability for.
And if they don't want to, that's their prerogative. I'm okay with that. I want them to do whatever helps them. I'm not apologizing for myself. I'm
Not apologizing at all.
apologizing to the person that I was in a relationship with for almost 5 years. And I hurt them, and I'm sorry for that.
And I'm sorry for that. I did this. I feel bad, and you should feel bad that I feel bad.
I really want to continue taking that experience and that relationship and learning from it. Beck can say absolutely anything
What have you learned? Can you list for me what you've learned? What did you learn from that relationship? I want to know.
from this point forward, and I am not going to respond.
I would say that this is a good performance, but we need some tears.
I genuinely wish them nothing but the best. And the apology that I need to give to you guys, if I hurt any of you during this whole thing because you guys care for Beck, then I'm also sorry for that.
I know there are people out there who take her shit personally, and I know there's been points in my reactions where I've been like, ugh. Honestly, though, when I turn the TV off, when I turn the computer off, I don't think about her. So I don't really take any of this personally. I don't. It's like television to me. It's just another one of my TV shows. Which, you know, spoilers, by the 4th season, I tend to get really bored with TV shows. So, you know, that's something to look forward to. But me personally, no. I know there are some people, though, who probably do feel personally attacked by all of this, and I don't know, man. You're just giving her your personal power by doing that. You're just giving her more power than she needs over you.
I'm a very flawed individual. That is not an excuse, but I'm a flawed individual that can learn from this
No, being a flawed individual isn't an excuse, but I'm going to use it as an excuse anyway.
experience. And thankfully, I have.
Unfortunately, you have not. And hopefully this doesn't mean that you're done growing from this experience, because
Has she grown?
I haven't seen any growth.
Whether people see it or believe it, I know it because I am my own person and I know how I've been in past relationships. And as I've
That's a scary statement to me, because if you know how you've been in past relationships and you're carrying that shit forward, that means to me that you're very aware of your manipulation tactics and the way you try to isolate and your abuse, and you're carrying that shit forward. Only now you have a whole new basket of excuses called BPD and CPTSD and some other letters that you sprinkled in there.
gotten older and more mature, and I've learned more about my BPD and just who I am as a person, I have become a better person. And
You just keep repeating that. Someone out there will believe you, I guess.
I have become a better girlfriend.
Your girlfriend dumped your ass. Your last 2 girlfriends dumped your ass. One of those girlfriends was a married woman that you were having an affair with. Your girlfriend before that drove your ass all the way to Oklahoma so she could leave you there and drive as fast as she possibly could back to, I think, New York. I don't honestly care. The point is she drove you to Oklahoma, dumped you, and drove away. Your last girlfriend, for whatever reason, let you hang around for 3 months, drove you back to Oklahoma, dropped you off, and then came and visited you once more before breaking up with you. How are you a better girlfriend?
I've become a better friend.
Your last friend that we are aware of not only betrayed you once, publicly, but did it again publicly. How are you a better friend?
Better pet parent.
Do not even. You let one of your cats loose. You let your elderly cat loose in the middle of a Wisconsin winter because you were too fucking tired and lazy to keep an eye out to make sure the cat didn't run out the door while you just opened the door to let the dogs run in and out of the house because you didn't want to pay attention while they went potty. Fuck you. By the way, are your animals tagged yet? Did you get your animals chipped yet?
Amber, you have recently threatened me, your most recent ex, Alexis, and who knows who else. This is behavior you've shown for years. You've not become better, and how dare you say you've become a better pet parent after recently losing Rarity. I don't know if I should say this, but maybe you should show this apology video to your therapist. If you're not able to see what's wrong with all of this, maybe they can help you.
Ooh, that's a good idea, actually. Oh, that's a good idea, Beck. See, one of them is in therapy, or one of them has at least gone to therapy. That's how you talk when you've been to therapy. Not the way Amber talks. I'm kind of digging the colors here, too. I'm a big fan of orange. I'm not gonna lie. I'm digging these colors.
I've become a better daughter. I've become a better sister. But
Your brothers will have nothing to do with you. They will never be in any of your videos. They never come out live. I barely remember you have them half the time unless you're telling me about the one brother that you rescued the one time when you were 8. Your mom, your mom's your mom, and I think that's the only reason she even bothers to take care of you. I think if you were not related to this woman, I don't think she'd give you the time of day.
I'm still flawed. I'm super complex and nuanced.
You're like an ogre. You have layers.
Just like we all are. And this just has to be the last time that I speak about this to protect my peace. And
Talk about.
I hope that Beck does things that also protects theirs. I'll
Yeah, come after you for being a bitch.
see you guys in my next video. Bye.
So that's it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed my reaction. I went into it not expecting much, but I think it was worse than I thought it could be. And before I go, I want to thank everyone for being so supportive of me coming forward and telling more of my story. It means so much to me. When I started making videos again, I was just fed up and in a really tough spot. I think that without all of your kindness, I wouldn't have felt so confident to come back and talk about all of this again. The reaction you guys have given me has been heartwarming and healing. I feared for so long what would happen if I was fully honest. I didn't know if I would be strong enough to take on whatever Amber had to say about me or handle any negative attention I was bound to receive. But doing this and growing this channel with you guys showed me that being genuine goes a long way, and looking back at the past didn't have to be so terrifying. I've been able to speak freely with the confidence to own up to my own mistakes while calling out the things I went through publicly and privately. Gaining this platform and seeing how it brings people together and how what I say and create can inspire others to speak openly and heal means a lot to me. I wouldn't have created these videos or this channel without you guys, and I just want you to know how thankful I am for you all. I appreciate everyone for watching, and I know most of you have already seen that Mr. Snowflake has posted a second part to the Q&A, so I wanted to let you guys know that that would be my next video. And after that, we should have another live stream before the end of the month. If you guys have any suggestions for what you would like to see in that live stream, let me know in the comments below. Thank you so much again for watching, and I hope to see you guys in the next one.
Bye. I really like the drawing stuff in the background. I like that last one that Beck did. That was really cool. I like that kind of like abstract-y kind of like eyeball-y thing. Anyway, I wanted to see how Beck was going to handle this, mainly because I wanted to see if Beck fell for any of it, which clearly did not happen. Good times. I've already listened to the apology like 3 or 4 times at this point. I pretty much pointed out all the bullshit that I saw, and this was a non-apology. This was a, I'm sorry you felt that you felt bad, but it's not my problem apology. And this is a very much, I'm the victim. I feel bad. I'm the victim. And you're not the victim. You victimize others. Beck really does sound like they've done the work, or some work, maybe not all the work, but some work. You know, it's just like, of the two of them, the one that came out of this relationship stronger definitely was Beck. It's unfortunate that Beck had to go through something like that, but, you know, we all have our own paths to walk, do we not? Hopefully Beck has learned enough to recognize this in future relationships and then doesn't fall for it again. So, there's that. I think it's interesting hearing Beck say things that people have said for a long time, but like Beck was pointing out, you know, and it's things that I have said in the past, when you're there, you don't see it, right? Beck was trapped, Beck was isolated, Beck was constantly being berated, being told that Beck owed everything to Amber, and therefore Beck had to do things because Amber said so, and that kind of stuff. And so hearing Beck be able to take a step back and see and hear and say the things that everybody else was seeing is kind of is cathartic the word I'm looking for? Gratifying, definitely. And just it kind of makes me feel good for Beck because it shows growth as a character. Beck is definitely growing as a character. Amber's growing, just not as a character. And so there's that. I am interested to see. I want to see if Beck answered my question. I think I got my question in too late for the second Q&A, but God damn it, I want to know. You know, I am a member of Amber's Lives. I really should wait for next Tuesday and then ask my question about the sun and the moon. And now I have to ask about the wind, apparently. Do you believe the Earth is real, Amber? You think you're living in the Truman Show? Is that what you think's happening? That'd be great. But anyway, all right, if you've made it this far in the video, go ahead and leave a paintbrush or a marker or a crayon or something art related down in the comment section as your emoji. Let me know what you guys thought of this. I probably won't react to too many of Beck's videos just because they're just really not the content that we do on this channel. I might react to some of their paranormal stuff. Maybe on this channel. I don't know. It bridges two of my interests, but yeah. Somebody did tell me I needed to start doing my paranormal shit again, so touche. Yeah, I will work on that. But anyway, go ahead and leave something art related for your emoji down in the emoji section. Let me know what you guys thought. Again, I'm really sorry about everything, but it's fucking cold in my apartment. I'm cranky and my coffee went cold. Here we are. I will see everybody in the next one. Bye.
This is my outro music. You can't copyright strike me because it's just me singing. This is my outro music. Thank you for watching. See you next time.